All right. What's going on, everybody? Cat, I'm putting in headphones. Which means I'm not going to be able to talk to you for a while. So let's get in a paint session tonight. Friday night, March 1943. That's the time. That's not the actual date. So March. Let me get on my audio. So I've been listening to this really interesting audio. It's called the Theta Waves audio. We're going to start here in just a moment. All right, here we go. Good old Friday. Friday is the best day to do art. Because Friday, I can't tell if this glove's been used or not. So I feel like I could probably. Glove been used? Is it inside out? I can't tell. I think we're good. Looks like a fresh glove to me. Looks like a fresh glove, right? Is this a fresh glove? Yeah, we got a fresh glove here. All right. So here's a painting we've been working on for the past day or so. We're just gonna keep building up. Oh, I gotta turn on my laptop too because there's some details about this painting that I need from reference. So how's everyone doing this evening? This is called The Creation of Eve. So obviously that is based on the story of the creation of Eve from the Garden of Eden. And we're just gonna build this up here. So let's see where we need to build up. No, I'm gonna start with a small brush. Start with a smaller brush here. It's actually one of my favorite brushes, but I haven't used it in a little while. I don't know why. It's been hiding in the center of my brushes. But this is actually one of my favorite brushes. Let's see. Green screen. Do I want green screen? Done. I don't actually want a green screen. That's kind of cool though. Look at that, like green screen over here. Oh, look at that green screen. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Imagine being transported into this painting. All right. Get rid of the green screen. How do I get rid of this green screen? Done. I don't want this anymore. How do I get rid of my green screen? What the heck? No. Do I have to like restart this? What's up? I'm doing good. Somebody help me. How do I turn off the green screen setting here? I'm doing good, but what's up, Fortnite? Is anybody able to help me turn off the green screen, or am I doomed to have to restart this live stream? Oh, this is so annoying. Pick a time. All right, you got it. Fortnite 1243, aka Sophie. Welcome. Right now, I am trying to get rid of this green screen. Warning that if you don't want green screen, I might have. Oh, I do not want to restart this because it messes everything up. Is it annoying if I just if I just leave this? That is so annoying. Let me see if I could do it from my other phone. Am I a woman? No, I am not a woman. Um, Jar full of old farts has asked if I'm a woman.
I can assure you he's not.
Okay. Thank you for vouching for me.
You're welcome.
All right, well, people, we're actually just gonna have to work with this green screen. I'm kind of like curious to see how this turns out. It's annoying because there's this green screen window here, but I guess it's kind of cool because things appear out of nowhere. It's kind of cool that this is like the central figure. So for now, we're gonna be working with this green screen. I don't know what to do with it. I don't feel like restarting the live stream. So let's just run with it, people. Let's roll with the punches. Nobody needs to get punched, but figuratively speaking, let's roll with it. So I'm gonna do this brown on this animal here. Got like a nice little brown tail. And we're gonna go. This is one of my favorite brushes. Kind of looks cool. Yeah, thank you. All right. So I'm glad you like it. So, Raya, you got what kind of motivational insights do you have for us? So anybody who's watching right now, just FYI that is Raya also has a YouTube channel, and I guess she does coaching, inspiration, motivation, etc., etc. And she also has a bit of an art channel too, I guess. But yeah, always good to hear what sort of insights people are having throughout their lives. So let's go like this. We're gonna have this animal just sitting here. And here we go. This funky animal, highlight right around here. Give him a couple little ear here. Sorry, you haven't Bowinator. It's all good, dude. Yeah, I know. My green screen is all jacked up right now. But I'm doing great, yo. I just had a great dinner with Kat. We just had a great dinner together, so things are good.
Very good.
And we're just moving on to the next phase of this painting. So that's what we're working on. Let's see where we can find some areas to adapt. Our figure here is going to have some white hair. Let's actually add some white hair into this. Our idol figure is how I think I remember Bowinator calling it, because I felt uncomfortable saying our god figure. But Bowinator has called it, helped us to decide the name, and this is going to be our
Missing you over here?
our idol figure. They could barely see you. The green screen's angry. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the green screen. Just doesn't want to cooperate today. So we're gonna add this mustache. I guess it's called a mustache, right? Bring down the little V angle right there. And let's see, get a lot of hair. And how do we establish this hair? This hair is going to come down like so. Get some more hair around the side like this. Have you ever heard the painting called David Garrick as Richard III? I have not. What is that painting about? Let me add some of these pinks with our white here. I'm gonna grab some pinks with our white. We're gonna get into our head, our facial features here. So we're gonna go. Oh, that's what you're currently studying. Nice. So, what happened? Were you still doing pottery? Last I heard, you were doing pottery or something. And it's cool if you got something new that you're working on. I'm just curious. Good to know. And let's go with some purple. We're gonna make this into a lighter, darker shade. Grab our blue, and we're gonna find a nice little blue in our shadow here. What? All right, you know what? Now's probably a good time to add highlight into our blue here. So let's try to find some good blue, low blue highlight. We're gonna try to find ways to highlight our figure here. So start by bringing in color down to here. Nice. Good to hear. You know, it's awesome to hear about your multi talents as far as as far as your crafts go, man, great to hear. I enjoy hearing about it. So we're just going to use our color here to create some light. It's a very loose, loose clothing folds. Not getting too serious with it. It's amazing how fast this paint has dried. Honestly, I think that looks. I don't usually like the paint fabric, so bear with me as I work through this and see if I can find a fine balance between my my desire to have this free painting style versus what needs to happen in order for it to look nice, because that's definitely a struggle when it comes to painting is you know figuring out how you truly want to create something versus that personal expression of an idea versus when you look at something and you want to get it like accurate. That's a constant struggle, I feel. And right now it just looks like a bunch of rough paint has been painted on it, and maybe we'll leave it that way. I don't know yet. Maybe we will go ahead and just keep it in that fashion. No way, you're literally painting fabric right now. It's going bad. Am I using reference? Yes, but I have actually only have a a drawn reference, so it's not a full on. It's not a full reference. That's an unusual fold. So we can actually keep that. I like that. That fold looks like there's a lot of folds in here. Let's go ahead and try to find some value in here. Some of this light around the side here. And happy Friday, everyone who's got any plans other than artwork. We all know everybody here only paints, right? Everybody here is just so obsessed with their artwork that they're willing to spend their weekend just doing it, right? Just kidding. You don't have to be like that. It's good to have balance. Balance is good, people. Find that balance in your life. Now, if you really, really, really want to get good at something, one thing that I learned as like a secret from one of my mentors, they suggest that you could just, if you want to get good at anything, all you really need to do is become obsessed with it. That was their like one secret to me. Like, dude, if you just, if you just come away with anything, just know this: if you want to get good at something, be obsessed with it. That is the one secret of people who do really well at anything. They are obsessed. Michael Jordan is obsessed with basketball. LeBron James is obsessed with basketball. Uh, Tiger Woods is obsessed with golf. Venus and Serena Williams are obsessed with tennis. This is something that you can totally verify just by looking at how much these incredible athletes play their sports. And it doesn't just carry into athletes too, science, whatever you're looking to do in life. I feel like it's true, even just from my personal experiences. So I'm using a reference. It's called The Creation of Eve, and it's by an artist by the name of Crispin Vandenbroek. So he's a Flemish artist from the 18. He's a Flemish artist from the 1800s, the 1850s. I mean, what do I say? 1575. I actually know the date. So this drawing is originally from like the 1500s, and it's originally from the 1500s. I wonder if I could find a new way to paint like folds in a shirt without like having to actually paint the folds. Painting folds is not something I enjoy doing whatsoever. So I will do my best not to have to do it. But if you ever see an artist that really knows how to paint like fabric, it's pretty amazing. It's just amazing what a good artist who can paint fabric can do, because when you look at it, anyone ever see like a painting? It just literally looks like they painted on silk. It fascinates me. It doesn't intrigue me. It doesn't interest me to the level that like I feel like I have to learn it. But it is very interesting as far as the craft goes of being able to paint a compelling and realistic fabric. And I'll say this drawing is quite complex, so I'm just going to loosely paint this fabric, give it this expression of this blue color, but not really get too hung up over it. So anyway, actually, let's add some yellows here. Why not? Let's bring some yellows in, get some of this green down here. That's not fun. Don't keep it back. Yo, Crispin Vandenbroek is the name of the artist. What's up, Omizu? I did send you an invite on Instagram. You wish to use it, you're, totally invited. But I have this glitch and I didn't feel like restarting my live stream. I had this permanent green screen on my live stream and it's glitched right now. So I don't know if you really want to, if that's going to bother you, but you are free to join via live stream and hop into this. So up to you. You're making dinner. All good, dude. All good, all good. Make that dinner. Keep your wife happy. And you will have a good life. Not that you need a reminder, that I'm sure you already figured that out. Just sure, man. So right now, my problem that I'm trying to figure out, my problem solving that I'm trying to do is figure out how I can create this outfit and give it this like level of expression without getting overboard in trying to like figure out a fabric.
We're gonna have to stand there.
But I do like the fact you were hoping I'd go on earlier while you're streaming, but no such luck. Oh man, it's all good. Really, I actually didn't want to paint. Didn't really totally want to paint tonight. But I'm kind of forcing myself to right now, just for the sake of like pushing myself to, do things like, sometimes, I definitely value the importance of like, feeling good when you're going to do something, right? Like doing something if it makes you happy. But I also feel like some nights it's important to paint, even when you don't really feel like it, because that's just the type of person I am, I guess. I don't recommend that for everybody because, especially if you're painting an important piece, you don't want it to feel like a chore. Although, if you do want art to be a business for you, sometimes it does have to feel like a chore, I guess, like everything. But I'm not saying it feels like a chore. I'm just saying that right now, this evening, I actually do want to paint right now. Now that I'm in it, now that I'm already in it to win it, I definitely want to do this painting. But before I got started, I was feeling kind of like I was feeling tired. I was feeling a lack of motivation. And I didn't really want to do it earlier, but I do now. So sometimes that's enough reason to just get started, is because sometimes you do discover the motivation that you want or need. And that is enough to just get you to, go to get you through, get you started. It's like running that first mile. Most people know that running that first mile, you get through that first mile, sometimes it gets easier. Maybe sometimes it's like, 3 miles or like 4 miles. But if you could just get to that first mile, you can get your butt out the door. Great things can happen.
You at the graduations. The things I was looking for. I could see something important. It's more about it.
But I like where the stats, so we're doing okay.
We're also looking at others.
I like his outfit. It doesn't look accurate, but it's cool.
See how far I go.
You agree. All right. Well, we have agreement, Omizu. That's awesome. We have found a moment to agree on, which is fantastic. My life has come complete now. That it's great when you can find people to agree with you. That means that you're right. Isn't it a great feeling to be right, people? The desire to be right feels so good that most people will totally bet a lot on their ability to be right. Honestly, I think being right is a little overrated, but that's just me. Sometimes it's good to be wrong, like when you're like overly judging yourself, and sometimes you're just wrong about your self-criticisms. That's a good time to be wrong. I actually like how this outfit turned out. Yeah, I'm having a glitchy stream. I couldn't turn off the green screen. I can't turn off the green screen. Maybe if I move it closer and just show where I'm painting. But yeah, I couldn't turn off the green screen, so this is what we're dealing with, sadly. Use some of this blue in the hair. There's a lot of blue here. That's okay. Let's just put this brush down. There's another small brush here. We're gonna help to fill in the light around our head figure here. Let's go like this. So I figured out where the light's gonna end. So I want to have some light coming around a bit further.
It's cold. How about we take that? Come on. Think of the Cantonese stories about that coffee. The man who wants me what he is into. Find it out.
All right, here we go. Let's try to figure out this face here. So I need my mahl stick. The mahl stick. MAHL. The mahl stick. We're gonna try to create some shadows on this guy right here. Our goal is to edit in some shadows. Let's look for some blue ochre, some blue green shadows. There we go. Maybe lighten it up just a little bit. I'm gonna find some green shadows on this figure so that we can finally lay down some of the eyes and stuff. You know what? I think that this figure already has enough light, so let's go darker green here. All right. Let's see. I think I messed around too much.
Welcome, Jen.
We've only got stuff.
So it's good today.
Yeah. Is anyone else? All right.
Find a way to bring in this look normal.
This love is night. The grace that gave no warning.
Might just have to leave this head for another day. Oh my goodness. It's so much worse. And here's the funny thing, like I'm trying to analyze why I do these types of things where like I know there's a mistake, but I just keep I just bring the paint down further. And I don't know why I do that. So maybe better modify this head here. We're gonna bring in some of these colors to just add some variety across the skin here. Let's add some of this color right into here. See how that looks. All right, you know what we can do? Let's just start to build up our color here.
All right, we all gonna cry? Do we want another round?
Yeah. Donation for the game? To the best I did, but you two think you could do better. Wrong then.
Don't let me you. Anyone but him you're saying was that was right after. Donation for the game.
It's all right.
Hmm.
Trust me.
Two.
Donation for the game. So, that's
It's just going so well till I decided to try to bring in my color opinions into this. What to do, what to do. Let's grab a different brush to build in some more color. See if that can help improve our painting.
$6 Apple Day big deal.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. Gentle. Gentle. Oh.
It's tracks. Okay. And what's tracks? White box.
Around. Let's head east towards the next tower. It's almost like the landscape.
It's stay well.
Yeah.
Build that into there.
Yeah, it's lonely.
Let's go into here.
All right, I will then tell them that.
to be and it's just that we've got ourselves to see sorry.
Go on then.
Where the summers is it up, give it some money or
Let's see. Give it a little color in this bicep here. Let's figure this baby out.
Mom. Start looking at that. Sure, too strong. That's like using bananas.
it's a shame that I don't see football it's really speed. Make exceptions. One, we'll take Talens. You think you got
I'm silent now because I feel like I've gone so deep into screw up territory, like totally unrevivable screw up territory of this painting, that I'm just so deep in having to fix it. And that's why I'm really quiet right now. I don't know if I'll be able to recover from this. And this is like a moment of time where I'm asking myself the question, why do I do these things, right? Is it a lack of discipline, or is it a desire to paint a certain way? I don't know. It's a lack of brush control, as some people like to call it. Or is it just like, it's also probably just, not knowing, having a strict, regular, and consistent process, right? I think that usually helps if you know exactly what you want to do every single time, exactly where you want to put things. I think that's very helpful. And I don't do that. I think my paintings have a lot of variety throughout, but
Go on then.
I do find myself
You do whatever you want, like always.
having some challenges right now. Like, why is he blue? I don't know. I really liked it how it was looking earlier, but I think it's not helping with like different layers of paint, different levels of layers of paint. So we'll see. How can we make this all work? That's the question.
Why don't you tell me what you can do? See if I can find something.
All right. Before I get myself into more trouble, let me go with some of these figures up here. So I think our idol figure is wearing blue, so he gets a nice flowy blue outfit like so.
I can write your music. Is it cheap? You're me thinking this is what you wrote. Okay. Brings me exactly place. Entire sentence.
Let's try to find like these shapes here.
To Austin from Bama, back west. You definitely explain that.
But you'll need more tips than that.
How much money?
200 tablespoons.
Where?
Tell them if you're a friend to work with you. The shame your head at home. I like the fact that They were born in Star. Spent our lives digging there. Until one day the cover is up with three shovelfuls of the same stuff. All these bastards know everything about it. Once has stuck around for me since I was a girl. But someplace near you can be whatever you want. And no one's gonna know that.
I wish I could actually see what I was doing on camera because I really need the camera to like understand and see. But let me paint over. Paint over. We're going to paint over right now. Gosh, this painting is looking so good. Until I reached a certain point. Now it's not looking so good. Let's see if I can make some adjustments. How do I want to do this grass? Let me get some grass in. This will solve the problem, right? Some grass and mud color. Let's go. Go down into here. He's just chilling, laying in the grass here.
Don't be sexual.
Always hope.
You know, I had some really high hopes for this painting. Now I feel not so sure. It's that feeling is hitting people. Feel uncertain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Thanks. Cookies and cream ice cream to make me feel better about this painting. Wow, this is such a weird feeling. Because I become so dependent on looking back at the camera to look at my painting that now that I'm painting, I kind of don't know what to do. Like I know the secret is all I need to do is just take a step back and look at it, but I feel like that's not good enough. Like it's not that it's not good enough like not good, but like not good enough as in doesn't make the painting small enough that I can just kind of like see what the most important intricate details are for what I'm trying to do. Like it's hard for me to really nail down what is important in fixing in this field. Which usually I can look at it from a distance in a very small perspective on the camera, and I kind of see like things that are really off really easy. But now I actually have to like not depend on technology and like stand far away. You know, like people used to do it. uh, but but now that we have technology, I'm so dependent on it. Look at that. That's that just blows my mind. Here I am, so proud about painting as opposed to doing digital art. And when I say that, I mean, just this physical experience of putting a brush to canvas feels so different for me. Yet I become highly dependent on using my phone, this live stream, to understand the overall composition and feeling that I'm getting from this painting or from all my paintings in general. And, it's just interesting. Painting involves much, much, and many of the uncertainties until they don't. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yes, many uncertainties. It's funny though because there are some artists who that I see. They just know because they're so practiced. So it makes sense. They're so well versed in the craft of painting that they just know exactly what to do every time. But for me, I still find many a happy accident in my sketches. I mean, I said many a happy accident in my sketches. I meant many a happy accident in my paintings. Let's try to find a blue green for this area. Are you talking to the cats again?
Stop. No. Feel like I've got a lot of profession. As a person, I know because I see how proud I am. Nice person. Something with insurance and technology. Intelligence and pride. And sanity. And it's gentle.
What was that?
Carolina. Lady Gaga.
What is going on? Get rid of this green screen, YouTube. Oh, wait, if I put my head in it for just a second, I can kind of see stuff. You know, it's kind of good that nobody can see what I'm doing right now because I'm at the point of no return. This is the point of no return where I pretty much have to be like, you know, I just got to be like, I got to turn an accident into brilliance, for lack of a better term. That's the artist's way of saying that I've made some really big boo-boos, some really big mistakes, and the only way to really fix it is to abstractify this entire painting. So that's what I'm doing right now, but because nobody can see the mistakes, it's perfect because I can just do it, and at some point there will be a reveal of what changes I made, but it just won't be right away. So perfect. What a perfect day to have this green screen issue because no one can see what this mistake is. But only people watching right now will know that whatever becomes of this painting is gonna be because I just could not figure out how to paint Adam's face. Adam of Adam and Eve. I just cannot figure out how to paint his face. I tried and tried to get a little creative with it. And it just didn't turn out good. And it's at a point where I just have to be like, all right, we're gonna mess with this. We're gonna mess with this. I wonder if all artists, if they were this honest. You know, I mean Jackson Pollock. So Jackson Pollock, interesting story. And I know he's not the best example to model our stuff after, but he got like this huge commission. I think it was like $60,000 commission back in, you know, the 60s, 1970s. He got this huge commission from Peggy Guggenheim, which, you know, if you don't know Guggenheim, one of the greatest collectors of art who ever lived. You know, she was able to save and rescue some of the art from World War II and something like that. But anyway, she's the one who I guess is credited with discovering Jackson Pollock, and she did something like she gave him like a $60,000 commission and like 6 months to do like a painting. It might have been like 3 months. Don't quote me. Maybe 60 days. But supposedly, Jackson Pollock just like sat around. Maybe not sat around, but he was like just sitting around, chilling, trying to figure out what to paint for the entire time until the very last day. The night before, he spent the whole night painting, and that's supposedly how the invention of Jackson Pollock's action painting came about. Supposedly, you know, every myth comes with its own truths. You know, everything's got a little bit of a truth and everything's got a little bit of a lie. But you know, that actually makes sense. That's a good mythology for Jackson Pollock's work. I could go with it, right? Like that would be a great story. It's definitely this. It definitely captures that essence of like of Bob Ross's happy accident. Although, you know, action painting wasn't an accident, it was just literally him procrastinating until the very last day, until Peggy Guggenheim, who gave him $60,000, was no longer having it. And she was like, yo, dude, get me my painting or else I'm gonna get the mafia to come after you. Just kidding. That's not what happened. But you got the idea, right? Jackson Pollock felt the pressure. Finally got the pressure from Peggy Guggenheim, and they they figured out the invention of action painting. What a great story. I love that story.
I think I see Eddie.
Jackson Pollock was the ultimate procrastinator. If you've ever thought you procrastinated, just listen to the Jackson Pollock story. Given that, Jackson Pollock was already a really talented artist before, at least he was recognized as a very talented artist before he came up with that, right? So, it's not like Peggy Guggenheim just gave this random dude $60,000 and was like hoping that he would come up with something. She already recognized him as an artist with a lot of potential. So, lo and behold, of course, he came up with something. And you know what? If you team up with the right people, art really is about people. And if you're able to team up with the right people, they can really help to make your career. It can literally turn you from a no one with no name, no talent, probably even no talent. That was a joke, but now that I'm thinking of it, they probably can turn someone with no talent into someone with talent. But that's a whole different story there. But the idea is, if you know people, if you're in the right circles in art, there's really a lot of doors that can be opened for you. Like even working in like film and TV, right? Obvious examples. Just knowing the right person at the right time can get you into a movie, or at least into the room.
The best AI system isn't it's one that moves you. The custom system built on its next integrated easily trained integrated your hands. It can be tuned to do just what you need. Because the more AI knows about you,
Do I really want AI to know that much about my world? Good question. How much do I really want AI to know about my world anyway?
what are you doing, boy? Last time again? Oh man. You play it's 5 troubles. For a second. Again, where we at? What kind of farm boy from Two Rivers? It's just from the Two Rivers. It's written all over. Speech your dress. Yes, my best. Stop. Go. Get back. She did. This was just.
And here we go. We're almost done filling the space. It makes me feel better that we have painted into space. And let's see. You know what? We're gonna go into this space as well. Let's just paint in the rest of our area here. Paint it with some browns, some dark greens.
What do you want? Have some.
Grab our yellow and our ochre. Go right into here.
So good. What's this?
And here we go.
Done.
A little bit more down the side. Actually, I want to spend some time on the other painting.
So you prevail as a. Matt said he's heading back.
That's just other things. Yeah.
Why should we?
It's getting wet.
Why is that you go back?
Goodies.
Ugh, I'm not trying. Maybe I can help. I know all the places, and with the miners and travels to the here, I'm just hearing.
Speak what?
Still live here. Maybe that's all that.
I think the best part of this painting is this little duck in the corner. I need to make everything about as good as this duck, which is everything must be the best thing about this painting. That's the goal. This duck is really a nice duck.
It's funny. I know. It's just that's the next thing. Choice to work on. Yeah. I think it was right. I don't know what to do.
We pretty much got all the space. I have to do another layer of this before I get into.
Was it there? No, I shouldn't be afraid of it. It's too much like her. I really like that. I think it would be better just go back and
How do you know that?
sit down.
What are you doing?
Waiting.
For what?
No. For the translation.
All right, let's see.
I didn't think you were this sweet. Makes it hard.
Press. Hurry up the speed. Make a slow fun words. See.
Cool. All right, let's see here. Let's see how we can revive our sketch here. Maybe add a nice little dark brown. Dark brown for eyebrows there.
See you tonight with the opportunity. Again. I'll be fine.
It's kind of scary. Painting the face with a big shadow like that.
And like I said, no one can do anything outside.
What are you doing?
I see. And I am things off my phone. I don't want to be nothing. I don't want you to be it. The dragon.
Who are you?
Doesn't matter who I am. What matters is who I'm going to be. The last time someone got the dragon was 3,000 years ago. And to think of all the people who serve the dark and fishermen to queen, it will be me who brings you to this. With me.
You never done what?
That's what the eyes of dying. He wants you to save us. Can't you see that? The wheel keeps turning and people keep hurting. Every man who comes to this lifetime has a story. Blood, drought, war, sisters murdering their brothers, children killing their parents. The dragon has the chance to change that. Break the wheel. Make it stop.
Good money.
I called them for surrounding last night. One of the eyelids. Thank you.
Let's bring in some red.
You just put your hair. She's a dark red boy. It's warm body and soul for the dark one. What you said is true. We need to meet now. Okay, well, since you're still thinking like the fate, better succumb. What is that? Beast and false. Are you coming? Easy.
All right. I feel like this live stream is almost kind of pointless because you know the whole point of the live streams is being able to share what's going on. But not only can I not visually share what's going on, I'm even having a hard time talking about what's going on because this is not a good place. My goodness. All right. Well, what should I do? If I keep pushing this, it's just gonna get more messed up. But there's also some possibilities too. Let me get our moose here. There's supposed to be a moose back here. So let me get a moose. Maybe that'll make me feel better about what we've got going on here. So we're gonna go little moose right here. Little moose head.
Is there here to help your teammate? I didn't see here. We captured a man calling himself the Dragon of the Ball.
Let's find something white here. Maybe some yellow reflection. All right, you know what? We can add some trees here. Let's go add our dark blue trees. We're gonna find our green, blue. Very nice tree green. Add some yellow. You know what they say when in doubt, moose. Ugh. Yes. Wonderful quote, Bonator. Lots of doubt happening. It's one of those nights. One of those nights. But we'll see. We still have an opportunity to recover from this. Maybe not tonight, but another night, hopefully. Grab our green, yellow, and we're gonna go with this. Maybe at this point, we pretty much just have to like boldly paint. Sometimes you gotta like just fake the confidence about what you're painting. And you can actually, I think that the fake confidence in what you're painting. I'm not saying I would fake the confidence, but um, if you could just express, let yourself just kind of like free up yourself, free yourself from yourself, and just like let loose and paint, you can come up with some cool stuff. So I don't know. Let's try that. Let's see if we could break out of our little funk here. It's long days like these when I probably shouldn't have started painting in the first place, but I don't know. Let's figure it out. Can you fake painterly confidence? I think so. I think painterly confidence can be faked. Let's go with this. Let's see. I wish I could show everybody, like, to see, so y'all could be the judge of whether what I'm saying is working or not. Maybe it's for the best. Everybody will see tomorrow. Whether this is good or bad. Of course. All right, let's try to find some nice little shapes here for our foreground. I don't know what that is. Let's lay down some thick grass right here. Add our streaks of yellow. Bring down our dark greens off of our section here. Maybe little pops of yellow. And let's add little pops of yellow and green here. Maybe little pops of red too. Let's bring in some reds. Reds onto here in conjunction with the green. And I'm pretty sure this is an apple tree. Like, what else would be shown here other than apple tree? Huh?
Of course it is.
So let's add some reds here.
So funny.
And just these little highlights of red are actually pretty nice. Let's bring in some of this red into the hair here, like right here. Right here. Why not? Why not
Yes,
add some
I'm gonna
red?
feed you guys some more. I know you want some. We need some more. Right?
Try to grab some of this, not try, we are gonna grab some of this green and just add a bunch of leaves right here. Let's go right around here. We're gonna add I guess we could add a couple little apple trees out here too. Little pops of red, right? Just to signify what we're talking about. Little pops of red. And get the moose a little bit of a pop of red. Maybe give the dog some red too on his ear, around his paw. And I'm adding in like reds and greens into Eve's hair because I think it adds. It adds. I think it adds. It doesn't take away. It adds. And how do we do this? I love how the sky's turning out. Let me try to work on a sky here. I'm gonna go into the sky. Let's get some nice cloudage here. Add some atmosphere. It's turning out all right. Sometimes, so I have this belief system. Some of you may disagree with it, but I have a belief system. It's not an absolute, right? It's not an absolute idea. But I do believe that our subconscious mind sometimes makes us do things that we don't consciously think of. But like it might, like let's just say you were out and you were robbing a bank. Just for example, I don't condone robbing banks, right? I do not rob a bank, please. But let's just say you were, for the sake of this example of how I believe our unconscious mind protects us. Let's say you're robbing a bank and you're successful 1, 2, 3 times, but eventually, you're suddenly like, oh, you know what? I don't want to rob banks anymore, but I can't, like, that's all I know how to do. And you're happy with the money. You're happy with the money from all the banks you robbed, and you just want to leave, right? You want to exit the game of bank robbing. Totally, for example, right? Of course, for example. So you want to leave the game of bank robbing, and what do? Right? Like you can't just exit the game of bank robbing. So what do? Your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, one day makes a mistake. Like you do an accidental mistake in the process of robbing a bank, in the process of planning. You accidentally set yourself up and get yourself caught because you no longer want to run banks. It's like affecting your consciousness or your conscience, and you make that mistake and you rob a bank. And but you like you don't do it right. You make a mistake, poorly plan, and I say that is partially your unconscious mind like trying to get you to protect itself, right? This is just one example. Obviously, you could think of a lot of more practical things than robbing the bank, but like let's like you want to get caught. You want to get caught so that somebody finally stops you, or maybe you get yourself shot in the leg or something, and and that's how you force yourself to stop robbing banks. I don't know. Totally made up. Again, just an example. Um, but yeah, that's something that I've come to believe that at least even in art, I think where it's relevant art wise is this idea that, you know what, sometimes if you judge yourself as a goldfish by your ability to climb the tree, you're not a goldfish, but you all heard that quote, if you judge a goldfish's ability by its ability to climb a tree, it will always be considered a failure, right? So maybe when it comes to art, if you're doing something poorly, if you're not doing a certain type of art well, what if it's just your unconscious mind trying to tell you, like, hey, this is a way to do it. This is the way that your mind wants to do it. And how does that manifest? Maybe you just never get a knack. You just never get the hang of abstract. You just like, no matter how hard you try to do abstract work, you just can't get yourself to do it. So then one day you pick up a pen and a realism drawing course and you become the best realist artist there ever was, right? That's an example. Or more practical example, like let's just say you're trying to learn tennis as a kid and you just can't get the hang of a good can't get the hang of catching a ball, but you're a great hitter or whatever. And maybe that's the sign that you pick up a tennis racket. I don't know. Whoever can think of more examples, but yeah, I do believe that our mind gets us to do these things. So, as far as in a more relevant creative sense, sometimes I talk nonsense on these live streams, but in a more creative sense, more practical creative sense, I think where this really helps is, finding your ability to swim, appreciating your ability to swim, your vision, your way of doing things. If we think about our goldfish example, right? Don't judge a goldfish by its ability to climb a tree. Don't judge yourself by your ability to do something that maybe you're just like, it's not where your strengths are, and your strengths are in somewhere else. Your desire to paint or draw is somewhere else, right? Like maybe you don't like classical style artwork, classical style drawings, and you veer more towards a more towards an abstract style or anime style. Just one of a few examples that I can think of off the top of my head. Like the way I'm bringing this up, the reason why I'm bringing this up now, and this may not be a perfect time to share this example, but when I was painting in Adam's face, I messed it up. And this part of me wanted to just keep doing this stuff to it. And I don't think, and it wasn't helping. And, sometimes I feel like when I do that, um, it's like just my mind taking over my hand, my mind taking over my hand and forcing me to do this thing that's going to allow me to paint, that's going to force me to paint a little differently. Maybe I'm just making excuses and justifications for my inability to paint a nice small face. I'm actually pretty confident in my ability to paint a nice big face, but I can't paint a good small face. I don't know if it's brushes or whatever, but yeah, I don't know if it's an excuse or a real problem or whatever. What are we talking about? You left for a bit to do your Japanese practice in Duolingo. Man, I'm talking about this belief that I hold about your mind's unconscious ability to get you to do things. Oh man, I just went on like a 20 minute rambling on this. I don't know if I can really summarize it again. Um, in summary, I was basically talking about this belief that I hold about, you know, your mind's ability to get you to unconsciously do things. If that makes sense, because it wants you to pursue a different path, right? So, like a happy accident, right? The whole idea of a happy accident. And if we were to phrase this as a question, is a happy accident truly a mistake, or is it just your mind's natural, like, vision of how something should look? You know? Like, I believe that the body has this unconscious way of protecting itself. Or here's a good example. Like, say that you're driving and a car comes out of nowhere, you had no time to respond to that car, yet somehow you escape. Somehow your body knows exactly the right move to escape from crashing into that car. You know, your body has these defensive mechanisms to help keep you alive, but you know, it probably works in art too, right? To help your body has these like interests and these appreciations for certain ways of doing things in art where, you know, if you make a mistake, it's not necessarily saying like, oh, you're not good at doing this. It's maybe just trying to tell you like, hey, try a different way, pursue this other different way of doing things. And if I was to repeat my example, how I painted Adam's face, which is absolutely horrible. When I painted it, for whatever reason, I noticed my mistake and I just wanted to keep painting over the mistake, which is a horrible idea because it just made it more messy. But now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just my body's way. There are no accidents on this. uh, so I'm like, maybe it's just my body's way of telling me, dude, you don't really want to paint like this. So don't do it. Try something else. Do it a different way. And I definitely believe in our our subconscious mind's ability to, you know, maybe get us to paint how I really want. And I think what's happening, how this is manifesting in my painting is, you know, the fact that I made a mistake on Adam's face and kept trying to fix it without really like without really doing a good job. You know, I kept trying to fix it. Kept trying to over fix it. Um, in a not a good way. I kept trying to like paint over it, etc. You know, it's maybe my mind telling me like, "Hey, dude, don't paint this way. You suck at it. Try this other way, a more expressive way of painting." That doesn't mean not to practice a certain way, but there might be better things out there. So I am really upset about Adam's face, as you can tell. Very disturbed at how bad I messed the face up. But maybe it's for the best. All right, we're gonna take a break from this painting. I'm done for the evening. But you know what? Although I feel like I've messed this painting up quite a bit, I'm actually glad that I did it tonight. It's definitely taking it into a new direction. Earlier, I was going for a more colorful, like Matisse style, but I find that like just trying to get those colors to compound into each other and just like flow into each other in a nice way. I just don't have that, but I definitely feel like I can do impasto. So Vlaminck, that style, like post-impressionist. Definitely feel good about coming up with that style of design. But we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. I'm going to clean off our brush. We're going to wrap up for the evening. Hey, everybody. Thanks. You're still here. Congratulations. Yeah, sorry about the green screen. I'm going to do a little zoom in on this painting and hopefully see if, it comes up with anything. I don't know why it's only showing this part of the painting. That's weird. But Mizu, we got to do a duo stream sometime soon. Thinking, I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I have time tomorrow. So either tomorrow, maybe even sometime next week. And knock out a duo stream.
Thanks, Don.
This was fun.
Shut the door.
Yeah. Closing my supplies. My other painting, our idol has a neck here, which I'm going to get rid of. Let's bring this close and see if we could see the damage or the improvement. No, you can't really. Yeah, right here. Can't. Stupid green screen. I'm never. YouTube, fix your dang green screen. But I should have fixed it. I should have just canceled the live stream and started over, but I didn't feel like it. Why does this live say only 3 minutes and 50 seconds? Anyways, this is my sign to have a good night. So, hey, take care, everyone. Thanks for being here. Later.